evening and welcome to Let's Talk Business. As always, thank you for tuning in. We truly appreciate your patronage. We just finished our resource month, August. Thank you again to Carlos from SBDC for coming into the show last Monday. As always, we do have a great guest tonight. Let me start though by doing a recap about the resources that we just had for the whole month. So let me backtrack a little bit. There are 5 resources that you need when you're starting a business. The first one, of course, is financial resources. That's your funding. Human resources, of course, you need employees, unless you're employee yourself. Educational, you need to know industry know-how. You need to have some research work on what's the best practices in your industry, what works, what do you need to do, in fact, just to get licensed. Physical resources, equipment, location. And then you've got emotional resources, kind of like your guide or your mentor or support system, right? Now, I tried to bring a little bit of each so that we can educate our listeners on where or who to call for these particular resources. So who are the ones that came? So SBA came and talked about funding. They talked about what SBA does and how they provide funding to new and existing businesses. They talked about alternative funding. There's a lot of startups sometimes that banks will not help. So there are community, they're called CDFIs, Community Development Financing Institutions that can help startups. And then SBA does even coaching and training themselves. They have their own programs for that. And then we had the Department of Business and Industry. My good friend Marcel came in and talked about all the resources that are available and how to find them using the roadmap, which I'm going to show again so we can take a look at it. Again, you'll find this in the Department of Business and Industry website. And then when you click on this part, it will take you to this roadmap. And then the roadmap is pretty much a guide on how to open up your business. You can click on any of these links and it would tell you the different resources that are available for it. Is it complete? Of course not. We tried to put everything that's available in there, but there's always one or two that you miss pretty much. But the roadmap is awesome. Like for example, if you click on planning, it will kind of give you the resources on who you call how to get licensed for your business. Training. Same thing. If you want some kind of specialized training, let's say how to get government contracts, you can click on that. There are resources in there. Same thing with networking, different chambers, different associations that are in there. Department of Business and Industry also was very big on talking about translation, which we know is a huge deal when it comes to the AAPI community. And the reason for that, and it's not, when I talk about translation, it's not just translating a piece of paper from one language to one language. It's translating the whole process, really making people understand what they have to go through or what's behind the scenes of this particular program. Why is it good? What do they have to do? Is it forgivable? Let's say it's a PPP loan, or is it eventually a grant? Things like that. And then, of course, he talked about doing business fairs, which we just did one about a week ago. And these business fairs are designed to showcase the different resources that's available. And we try to go to different, different niches or parts of the city and put up one of these business fairs. And then we had SBDC that came in last week. They came in to talk about the educational and emotional resource part. So what they talked about what's available for coaching and training in different stages of your business. For example, let's say you're operating now. What do you need so you can get to the next level? Do you need marketing help? Do you need financing help? Do you need bookkeeping help? Things like that. Licensing, I just mentioned that. Very, very important. We're finding out now that there's a lot of businesses that they thought they're already licensed, but turns out they're not licensed for the city, or maybe they're licensed from the wrong county or the wrong place, not city instead of county. And then they also have help in how to scale your business, how to grow it. And then we had Reed Airport Liaison David that came in and talked about the importance of certifications. Why is being a certified minority owner so important? What can you get out of it? What kind of doors does it open for you? How you get that done, pretty much, and of course, how it can benefit your business. And it's not only doing business with the airport, but getting certified as a minority business to do business with anybody. Just remember, a lot of these companies that are coming in, or even the companies that we have here, like casinos, you have to be certified in order to do business with them if you're a minority business. And then last week, and then 2 weeks before, we had ePower to talk about the ERC resource, how a business can benefit from that resource, which is still available up to now. So again, I want to remind you, if you were a business that was open before COVID and you stayed open, make sure you check if you're qualified to get the ERC if you have employees. There are more resources out there that can help really, with your business, such as workforce connections. For example, if you go back up to the top five, you've got the human resource side. They can definitely help try to get employees for you. There's also other human resource capital or staffing agencies that you can use. There are also business incubators like Adams Hub, which is very popular up in the north. There's a bunch of them down here. This can help with the physical resource part. They have spaces that you can rent for very low amount. And then they have kind of like a shared space capability. And it's great for a startup business. As you can see and heard, there are so many different resources that's available for small businesses. The key, though, for us, my audience, please listen, is knowing where to find it and actually using it. So there's a difference between, the government, the state acknowledges that small businesses is the backbone of our community. They've really given a lot of money and resources towards all of these. There's a lot of different entities, as you can see, SBDC, SBA, Department of Business Industry, PTAC, so many different acronyms. But the key really is us using it, knowing where to find it, and using it. So here's a few tips. Ask for help. If you don't know where to go, ask for help. You can call the county. They have a business development department. City, same thing. State, you can call me. You can call the Department of Business and Industry. We can get you to the right person. I have a very good friend. I've mentioned this story before in the past. She wanted to open a business that had to do with children. She didn't know where to start, and she just kept on putting it off and putting it off. And she told me she would see other businesses open and she would be heartbroken because I'm like, oh, that's my idea. And then there's another business that opened, same thing. And the only issue was she just didn't know where to start. And then when I pointed her to that direction, she's like, oh, wow, I didn't know that this existed. So sometimes it's just really asking for help. There are resources available for you. Just go out and ask. Tip number 2, be vocal. If there's something wrong with the resource that you're using, say something. And it will not only benefit you, but it will also benefit people from your community. And I'll give you another example. SCORE. SCORE is a volunteer-based business resource again. And what it is a bunch of volunteers consisted of retired business leaders that mentor would-be business owners, aspiring business owners. They help them develop business plans. They help them do a little bit of research on the industry. A good friend of mine went to SCORE and said, I didn't feel comfortable because they didn't have any Asians in there. I agree. Then that's one of the reasons why diversity is so important. You want somebody who understands your culture. But the way we're so polite. Instead of saying something, we just don't go back. We just say, okay, never mind. It's not for me. It's time that we need to speak up, be vocal, say something. Hey, do you have an Asian agent? or volunteer. I want somebody who understands my culture. By you telling them, they understand that there's a need for that, and they will actively look for one. They are now, which is great. They've come to me several times asking, hey, Sonny, can you help me find volunteers that are Asian? So be vocal. Say something. Don't just be polite and just leave and not come back. Don't feel intimidated or shy to ask questions. Always ask questions. There are no dumb questions. We've heard that. We've heard that saying so many times. It's so true. If you have a question, just ask. It's all right. And then, of course, the last tip: use the available resources. I cannot tell you how important that is. If there's a resource that you don't understand, ask questions until you're comfortable. Don't just say that's not for me. Research about it. Don't be afraid to try and then use a different resource if you're not comfortable with it. Let me give you a couple of examples. The PPP. And I always go back to the PPP because this was such a frustrating thing for me. I really wanted to see Asian businesses get more of the PPP when it was available. It's no longer available now. But, after the first round, I noticed that there's not a lot of Asian businesses that were applying for PPP. The only ones were the ones that had a CPA or were at least more sophisticated. And I said, well, what's going on? How come they're not applying for PPP? I found out that they were just not comfortable with the process because they didn't understand it. So we found a way. We did webinars with somebody that they trusted, somebody who could translate until they were, and then we would do it. We would answer all of their questions until they were comfortable enough with it. Then they started applying. But sometimes it's frustrating. I'll give you one example. I set up one, and of course I was so excited because it was a Filipino organization. And it's something that would really benefit my people. I'm Filipino. No one showed up. And I was like, what the heck? I'm donating my time because I want these people to be able to get this, and they didn't show up. And then some of them came to me when the PPP was gone and say, hey, can I still apply for the PPP? And I'm like, it's too late. There's no more. And that was really the frustrating part because, you want people to be able to take advantage of something like that. But anyway, so that's my last tip. Please use resources that are available. And if you don't know what it is, or if you're not comfortable, ask questions and find out about it so you can make a better decision if it's something that you want to move forward with or not. All right. So let's go on a quick break. When we get back, we're going to talk to our guests, and we're going to talk about another resource that we have, free resource. We'll be back.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Welcome back. I am so excited tonight. We've got a great guest. Good friend of mine, Vicki Tambunting. Vicki, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Sonny. But before that, good evening, everyone. Okay, I hope you listen to my message because it's going to help not only you, your friends and family.
Awesome. So Vicki is the owner of two businesses. She's got her Victoria Tambunting Photography and her Vicki Vegas blog, which is we're going to talk a little bit about more. But before we do that, tell me how long you've been operating these both businesses, and then just give us your background.
Well, Sonny, this is my background. It's kind of strange because I'm doing this podcast and all that stuff and photography, but it's quite far from my background. So I'll tell you, in the Philippines, I've been a lawyer for the last 25 years. So I do civil law. All right. So that's what I do in the Philippines. I used to be a teacher. And then I finished my nursing course. It's practical nursing.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then because my kids were born in the United States,
Okay.
so that's what you call anchor babies. Okay, so they were born in the United States, and then they were telling me, "Ma, because we're U.S. citizens, we want to live there and study there." And I had a house here in Las Vegas, so I said I couldn't come because number one, I have no contacts here. You know, I'm a lawyer in the Philippines. I can't practice law here until I challenge the bar.
Yes.
So I said maybe I'll. Who are the people they hire here right away? So I said, nursing. So I took up nursing, but the easiest because, my gosh, I didn't even know if I could go back to school. So I took up practical nursing, and then I said, maybe another thing that's that they hire here in Las Vegas would be culinary people.
Yeah.
So I did the full culinary course for cooking and baking. Oh my gosh. And it was so much fun. But then you know what? I believe that it was fated to be also because my legal background and then my marketing background and my medical, which is the nursing background, and this culinary really made me a well-rounded person, which I believe could help me tackle any topic. So, okay, the thing I'm not interested in is cars. I'm not interested in cars. So, I mean, it turns me off. But talk about jewelry, that's great. Anyway, let me tell you. So, so my children said they wanted to live here, but that was 2010. And I told them, you know what? Number one, I have no contacts here in Las Vegas. I don't know anybody here. Number two, it was election season. And, because of my legal background, I was helping a presidential candidate. That was Manny Villar.
I see.
Yeah, against Noy Noy. But you know what? When Cory died, it was all Noy Noy all the way. So, I mean, we were top, and then Noy Noy was second, but after that, we never reached him. So anyway, I stayed because I was helping in the presidential campaign. I used to work in the Senate of the Philippines. So really, my background is legal and politics.
Yeah.
So when I came here in Las Vegas, I realized I didn't want to work because I was 50. So I said, maybe I should retire and just enjoy my life, with my kids and all that stuff. So so when I came here, what could I do? So what I did, I noticed that there's a lot of networking events here. But because I'm a woman, I'm new, I'm Asian, Filipino, whatever. Of course, I was a little bit shy. So I was observing first. But I would veer towards all these legal things. So at that time, there was, elections for judges.
Okay.
So I said, when you're going to help a person, when will you help them? You have to help them when they need help. So at that time, I helped some of the the candidates, to become judges, and I felt so good. And part of it was taking pictures.
Okay.
Because pictures is really publicity.
Yes.
And now we realize 10 years later that that's the way to go. So that's that's where I began photography. It was just a hobby, but then I realized people, they all wanted to have their photos taken. They wanted to document what happened in their event, birthdays and everything. So I said, okay, I'll try that because I wasn't working. And then in 2020. You all know that 2020, nobody wants to go back there. Yeah. I remember March 17. I remember it because I cried when I was posting in Facebook. I said, Las Vegas, the city that never sleeps. I love Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Just closed. Everything was closed. So I cried. I said, how could that happen? I mean, you would never have thought of it. And so my kids and I, since we were all at home, we were talking, you know what? We feel for people who probably put in money and invested in, let's say, a restaurant. Because we were thinking of doing that.
Okay.
And we said, oh my gosh, the timing. If you put out money, invested in a restaurant, everything is closed, totally closed, no employees, no nothing, but the rent is still continuing.
Of course.
So how will you get out of the situation? That's why, I said, oh my gosh. And every time a business closes, like a restaurant or a mom and pop store or any business, I feel so bad. I really feel for them. That's why I started my Vicky Vegas YouTube channel. So my vision is for Vicky Vegas YouTube channel, I called it Your Source for Everything Las Vegas. I promote Las Vegas businesses and tourism to the world. So guys, like Sonny said, I am one of your resources. I promote you for free. Okay? So my name is Vicky Vegas. You can find me in YouTube. It's called Vicky, Vicki, and then Vegas. That's it.
Vicky, it's so true what you're doing, and people sometimes don't understand the power of having a YouTube channel, for example, or an influencer like you talking about Vegas and their businesses.
Yes.
So I have a friend of mine who started a website as well, and it's now one of the top 5 most visited, website. When it comes to Las Vegas,
Yes.
and it's really driving, and it's same concept, free
Yes.
for every businesses.
Yes.
And now, like all the cab drivers, go to where his address is.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Yeah. So I guess you answered my question number 2. Is really what inspired you to do this. You did this
Yes.
because you wanted to help
But
people.
Sonny, let me first tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Victoria Tambunting. So everybody asks me, the moment they hear Victoria Tambunting, if you're Filipino, you know the last name Tambunting. But then here, when I got to the States, how do you pronounce your name? Tambunting, Tabunting, all that stuff. So I said, if I'm going to make a YouTube channel, I got to change my name.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just something easy to remember, just to click. So I was reading one post in Facebook. It said that your stripper name is your first name and the city where you live. So I said, hey, I live in Vegas. My name is Vicky Vegas. So that's my stripper name. Oh my gosh. So really, really easy to remember. That's why that's what I'm using. But it's an I, Vicki. That's it, Vicky Vegas.
I love it. What you're doing is truly amazing. Promoting small businesses here. Can you tell me, so people can understand, and I know you just touched on it, but how important is this for small business to be promoted by an influencer like you? What does it add to that business?
Okay. I don't know if I'm wrong by assuming if it's a small business, they don't have much of capital.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have much of cash. So what you're going to try to do, we're all Filipinos. We know how to do, underground and all that stuff. So here in the States, it's a totally different thing. So everything has to be above board, everything legal. So I'm thinking those small businesses, they should look for resources that are free to promote your business.
Yes.
For example, I'm going to have an event this September 21. You guys are invited if you're in Las Vegas. This September 21, I'm going to have a big networking event. Why? And my birthday at the same time. Last year, I started the Vicky Vegas YouTube channel, September 21. That was also my birthday. So this is my first year anniversary. Last year, I made it networking. This year, I'm going to make it networking again because it's not all about me. It's all about you guys. So what I'm saying is, this one is I want to make this affordable for you. If you have a small business, you can put a $100 ad here.
There you go.
There.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to find a place where you can just put an ad for $100. So I have a Vicky Vegas resource book. Hopefully we get you in there because my vision is to have a book where my clients will open it. Let's say I have a lot of doctor clients. I have a lot of lawyer clients. I want them to see, today I need a repairman for my bathroom. I want them to open that resource book and find that little guy, the handyman, find him there and he will have business. Or maybe this doctor will say, I want to have a party and I need a caterer. I'll open it that book, and there's this little Filipino caterer that will fulfill my needs, or this Filipino guy who can supply me the lobsters, because the lobster guy is in my book. So yeah, so I want that book to be for you. Actually, for me, everything is free when I have this big event on September 21. You can find me, of course, at Vicky Vegas, but you can go to info@vickyvegas.com. So it's so easy if you need more information. And even not for that day, even if you don't put an ad, I want you to be there to network. And when you network, I would like to advise you to be ready. It's like going to war with bullets. Okay? So what do you need? You need, you need your confidence. You gotta go around and promote your business. Remember, that's free. And then you need business cards. If you want to know who does my business cards, and you can go to them. It's called the All American Printers. So you can go to them also. Again, it's All American Printers. They do my business cards. They can do your business card. And if you need someone who can do your ad, I can give you that. For $20, he's going to create your ad. You can never find that in Las Vegas. But I have a friend, I asked if he can do it for $20. He said yes. So let me know how I can help you. But come to this event, Vicky Vegas.
I love it.
Thank
See,
you.
look
Thank
at
you,
that.
Sonny.
He's already promoting people right here on the show.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And that's exactly what it's all about. But you're 100% right, by the way, Vicky. Majority of the small businesses, of course, they watch the capital that they spend.
Yes.
And especially with Asian-owned businesses, I found that marketing is sometimes last in their list because,
Yeah.
of course, it costs money. Sorry, let me scale that back. Specifically when it comes to social media marketing, it's something that they don't think, okay, we could just do the bare minimum with that, not realizing how important that is.
Yes.
And not only the Asian community. I talked to somebody from the East Side, and a lot of the Hispanic restaurants, for example, some of them don't even understand the power of Yelp.
Yeah.
And they don't know that that's what people look at now when they're looking at a restaurant to eat. So, no, it's fantastic.
I remember. You know what? I graduated from the University of the Philippines, so I'm a little dated, like 40 years ago. So here's the thing I learned, because I was majoring in marketing. You know what they said? At that time, it was still Philip Drucker, the most famous guy in marketing. But they were saying that when you build a mouse trap, mice or mouse in the house is really, really bad. It's annoying, irritating, and everything. So you build a mouse trap for these people to catch the mice. Mm-hmm. So you know what they were saying? That book was saying for marketing that if you build a better mouse trap, do you think you're gonna sell more? The answer is no. The answer is no. Why? Because you need to promote your business, not because you have the best food, the best, you're the most talented person. You gotta market yourself. That's the most important thing. So it's not really building a better mousetrap. Magic. No, you gotta promote that.
Oh, I believe that. That's true. That's 100% true. So how can the audience be added to your network? How can I want to be part of Vicky Vegas?
Yes. Well, just find me in YouTube, VICKI Vegas, Vicky Vegas, YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and share. So, and, I have a Vicky Vegas page in Facebook, but I'm more active in my Victoria Tambunting photos page, and then the Vicky Vegas YouTube channel. So go to Vicky Vegas YouTube channel. If you want to email me, you have questions, you need help, for free, I'm gonna help you. Just go to info@vickyvegas.com.
I love it.
Thank you.
So can you describe to me the process of what the small business needs to do when they want to be added to your network? So what do they need to be ready to be interviewed? Do they need to be ready with some ads? Or
Okay. No, okay. The only reason I was creating the book is because I was doing this, for my 1-year anniversary. But my collecting all your information and my helping you is the whole year round. So to join my organization, or that Vicky Vegas YouTube, to join, you don't really need. I understand if you're just you don't know what to do, because everybody in the beginning doesn't know what to do. You know what? So that's why you have to ask. Now, I used to teach law school in the Philippines for 11 years. Okay, so I used to teach law school. Now, this is what I tell my students. Guys, if you have questions, you better ask me. Don't ask that person beside you, because that person doesn't know any better. Okay? You always have to ask the experts. So I feel that among other people, I probably know a little more about this in helping you. Of course, there are a lot of resources, but in helping you, ask people who know. Don't ask your relatives, your friends. What do they know? So ask the experts.
There you go.
That's my advice.
That's good advice. Can I tell them the experience that I had last year in your...
Yeah, please.
Because it was great. She had it streaming live.
Yes.
Which is fantastic. And then she had people talk about their business.
Yes.
On air.
Yes.
Which was fantastic. So
Yes.
I thought it was a good platform for you to be able to talk about what you sell, what you do, what service you provide.
Yes.
And a great way to meet people.
In last year's event, I had more than 200 people. So I was surprised, because they all wanted to promote their businesses. I held it in Cat's Meow.
Yeah.
Cat's Meow is a very nice place in downtown Las Vegas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what? When people come here, they always want to go to the Strip, all those big malls and everything. But I wanted to promote downtown Las Vegas, because that's the original Las Vegas, and there are a lot of beautiful things to see there. My friend Yohit Yoshi, he owns several buildings and all that stuff. He keeps on developing his Neonopolis, and then every time he has an opening there, you know what? It really brings a lot to the economy of Las Vegas. So I always invite people to that side of town. They were saying, "Oh, we don't want to go there. It's scary and all that." I said, "No, I'm a local. I should know. You should see it." So those are the businesses that I promote. It was in Cat's Meow. And the beauty about Cat's Meow is it has 3 branches in 3 states. And they had this live streaming camera where 1.8 billion people were watching. Was it billion? No, it's 1.8 million people watching.
Yeah.
So it was just streaming. Imagine if people see your business in that streaming platform, because they just look. It's just going on the whole time. So I wanted to promote those businesses. And I was so happy, because I had someone who was selling costume jewelry, clothes, So I was so happy at that time. So thank you, Sonny, for coming and making those beautiful comments.
No problem.
And the feedback,
I enjoyed it.
The feedback to me was that, "Hey, Vicky, I got a lot of good leads in your party." So I was so happy about it when I hear those things. So guys, please come to my event, September 21. Go to info@vickyvegas.com.
That's awesome. All good tips from
I
Vicky.
talk too much.
No, I love it. It's words of wisdom.
No, because I have a lot of experience. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, so you should share it. It's exactly what you're doing. And by the way, folks, Vicky, one of the reasons why there's so many supporters, Vicky is so well known. Everybody wants Vicky's photography when there's an event. So yeah, she's who we use all the time.
Okay.
So
Sonny, may I just plug?
Yeah.
Okay, so here in Las Vegas, I'm an events photographer. So I'm different from the other photographers. Let's say a food photographer is different. A portrait photographer is different. So there are many. A wedding photographer is different. But I'm an events photographer. So this is the difference. Let's say in a wedding, the bride and groom will have their own photographer and videographer who follows them around. You see that, right? Whatever they do, pictures are taken and there's video. But the mother of the bride or the groom, they contact me to take photos of the crowd. They want photos of their relatives, of their friends, of the event, of the place, of the food, of the people. So I am an events photographer. I'm not that kind of wedding photographer. Neither am I a portrait photographer. Okay, what is a portrait photographer? You pose, this is for your ID, you pose like that, but that's not what I do. I give that to my friend Mark Eli. Okay, that's plugging. That's why my friend Mark Eli. Now, because we work together, he does videos in events and I do photography. So I'm an events photographer. I am in the act. I mean, I'm right in the action. I've been doing this for the last almost 10 years in Las Vegas. And you know what? I can't say my expertise, but probably is really political events. Like let's say the candidate. I have to take a photo of this candidate. They hire me. In my mind, it's also my duty to bring the candidate around. Like when somebody talks to the candidate for so long and I see that, I try to interrupt nicely and I say, sir, excuse me, you are wanted here. Sir, excuse me, to my candidate. Some candidates don't get it. Sometimes they get upset that, they get caught. And I'm thinking, you know what? This person has been talking to you for a long time. Other people want to talk to you too. So don't get mad at me because I'm trying to do, make you go around. So that's the little extra I want to give to the candidates. That's it.
Wow. No, that's awesome. But I did learn that, by the way, because my son's a photographer.
Perfect.
So he's a digital marketing
a
photographer. So he does a lot of retail.
Yeah.
He works for a company here called Features. His name's Alex, and he's very good at it. But I asked him, hey, do you want to do your cousin's wedding? Oh no.
No,
that's not my
different.
forte, Dad.
Yeah.
So that's
You're
then he
right.
explained it to me why. So I'm like, okay.
By the way, I was going to tell you, Sonny, you have to be like. Some people say, "Oh, I don't go to Facebook. I don't open it." Blah 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 blah. I'm saying, you know what? If you're not in Facebook, you're missing a lot because there are 1.8 billion. Members of Facebook, and each morning, believe it or not, 1.2 billion open their Facebook.
Wow.
So if 1.2 billion and you're not there, you miss the train. So and it's free.
That's another advice. There you go.
Yeah. Facebook.
All right. No, that's fantastic. Vicky, thank you so much for coming in. I truly
You mean are we
appreciate
over?
it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's only a 30-minute
that's fine,
show.
that's
Sorry.
I'm kidding. You know what? I'm just so honored, Sonny. You're one of the people I really admire.
Thank you.
Here in the community. You know why? Because I've been watching you and you're always for public service. So these are the guys that really count. Those Sonny Vinuya and his beautiful wife, Jen Vinuya. Okay,
Thank
I'm
you.
plugging.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, and my friend Johan Saison, who is also doing this
He's our
PHLV
producer.
radio. Yes, out of the goodness of his heart. So I really appreciate and admire you, Johan Saison of PHLV Radio.
Nice. Thank you very much. Okay, folks, that is our show. Please remember, we are also on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. Please tune in. Good night, and we'll see you next Monday.
Love ya.
Bye.